Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a chair, and I want you to almost envisage that you're doing the opposite way to how you would if you had a piece of paper and a pencil. Try and imagine that you've got a block and you're removing material. So it's going to be slightly different to how you would if you were to draw the product by adding lines and adding stuff. So we're going to get our rectangle tool and we'll start at the origin just here. As we've discussed before, it kind of snaps to that point, and at this point it doesn't matter massively how big that rectangle or square is. We're going to get our push pull tool and pull that up to about here roughly, and we're looking at just envisaging scale and size in our heads and trying to get the proportions right by just looking at it. So instead of adding, we're going to take away at this point. So I'm going to get a rectangle tool again, and I'm going to start just on that corner. And I'm going to remove the bit I don't want anymore. So I'm going to just push this bit away till it goes right on that face. I can let go and it deletes it. And this time I have already a seat and a seat back. I want to create the legs, so instead of drawing them, I've got to remove the material I don't want. So I'm going to go to the bottom. Looking at the bottom, I just want to adjust that ever so slightly there, so that looks a bit better in proportion. So on the bottom, I'm going to use the square tool. If I was to just try and draw 4 legs on the bottom now, I could do that. I could try and draw them, but I'd probably end up with uneven sized legs. So I don't really want to do that. I'm going to go to undo. So my bottom is then plain again. And I'm going to go up to that offset tool that we've looked at before. And I'm going to offset this rectangle, this squarey rectangle on the bottom. And I'm just going to bring it in. Now that's scaled it perfectly from the outside to the center. So I now have a kind of border around the outside that's even all the way. I'm going to get my square rectangle tool and I'm going to do a square and rectangle from corner to corner. And then I'm going to get my rubber tool and I'm going to delete the square lines there that I had from using the offset tool. And now you'll see I've got 4 squares all exactly the same in each corner. So I'm then going to push that up and you'll see what I mean. You start to be able to create shapes that you want. I could, I suppose, add a curve on the top of the chair. Notice it kind of automatically knows I want that in line. So I just click on one end, click on the other, and then notice the blue line is on the axis, blue axis there. There we go. And I can push away that top end. I want to maybe create a bit more interest, so I'll get the tool here, the offset one. That's looking good. And I might push that in just a little bit, add a little bit of interest there. This is a bit sharp. If I was to sit on that, that's a bit sharp. That might protrude. So I'll get my arc tool up here and come to there and there. Click and then push that way. This might be a bit hard again, so I might get the offset tool again and click on there and just do a little pull up of that. Maybe use that as a cushion. So my cushions, let's have a look. If we want to look at making some material on this, making it look like a specific material, let's go with the paint bucket tool just here. Let's have a look at that. So if we click on the paint bucket tool, you get a drop down menu just here, and that allows you to have colors, but also allows you to have materials such as wood. So click on the first wood, and you can click on every surface that you've got, which is a bit of a faff because you have to click on it everywhere. So the easiest thing to do is highlight all of it with your arrow tool, go back to your paint bucket tool, click on it, and the whole thing will turn wood. Now I don't really want the cushion to be wood, so I will select carpet fabrics leathers, and I'll go with just that one there. It looks like a fabric, and I'm going to zoom in, and you'll see that this time I'll click on those surfaces and orbit around just to make sure. There we go. And we're looking like we've got a fairly basic looking but accurate drawn chair particularly quickly. Okay. Give it a go.